as a human race, we all together going through this will definitely going to be plus. You know, I think this virus is going to be naturally disappeared before the scientist or the medical professional can come up with the vaccine. But the $30 billion the United States put in for the research is going to help for the next ones to come, I believe. And so everything is an investment. What we do, what we prepare, what the government do, everything is going to be an investment for the future return. So far, 4,700 people died from this virus over a couple months, 3-4 months. It started end of last year, and now I think 127,000 people are infected, but at the same time, 68,000 people have completely recovered. So we want to be out of mind positive and do whatever it takes to protect ourselves, but not to be suffered from the negative mindset. Even the rate of the toll of death is less than influenza so far, but it's a pandemic and it's unknown, so we don't want it to be like, you know, what happened in 14th century or something like that, that many millions of people died from the disease that spread out. We should seek the opportunities hidden in each incident. So the pandemic of this coronavirus, you know, it's a historic event. Like this never happened since 14th century or something like that, right? So it is something unexperienced. So you know, as a human race, we all together going through this will definitely going to be plus. When you think about it, influenza is killing people like, you know, average more or less like 58,000 people every year. It's important to be careful, precautious, and do whatever it takes to protect your family and friends. But at the same time, we cannot be panic, because this is going to be go away as its own. That's what I think. And then this is one of the first experience as a human race to experience this kind of pandemic, the virus attack, just like you know, in the movie, really, like, you know, maybe the last one happened in 14th century or something like that. So this is great experience. This is going to be as bad as it appears right now. It is going to be great experience to go through as a human race, instead of you know, we forget about nationality, we forget about rich or poor, we forget about you know, any classification or label that we carry every single day. And as a human race, we're gonna fight through and we're gonna survive. And at the end of the tunnel, this is gonna be there is gonna be great recovery, like it never happened. But once this concern is gone, as the virus naturally go away, the rebalance of everything is gonna be increased. Coronavirus is spreading, and WHO declared that it's actually pandemic. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, forbid to travel to Europe. So we are living in the history in a sense, and we have to be precautious for whatever it takes, not to have the real, you know, like, you know, we don't want to see millions of people die with this pandemic. But at the same time, I feel like this is going to naturally disappear, as typically this kind of virus, you know, epidemic is. So it's going to be not gonna be years, it's not gonna be a year. That's what I feel. And so it's the matter of we want to be preventive and get through, basically survive. And as long as now, like, economics and the market is really suffering, right? It's like it sunk like never happened. But once this concern is go away, the strong economy and the market will come back. So I think we really should consider this as an opportunity to survive and be stronger ever, and do whatever it takes to protect ourselves, but not to be suffered from the negative mindset that we completely shut down on life. We still need to live through it. So we want to be really, positive mindset, not be panic. There's no reason to be panic. I think that statistically still it's less. So far 4,700 people died from this virus over a couple months, 3-4 months. It started end of last year, and now I think 127,000 people are infected, but at the same time 68,000 people have completely recovered. So half of infected, confirmed infected people completely recovered, and only a few of them have died. And when you think about it, influenza is killing people like, average more or less like 58,000 people every year. So even the rate of the toll of deaths is less than influenza so far. But it's a pandemic and it's unknown. So it's important to be careful, precautious, and do whatever it takes to protect your family and friends. And like I said, whatever we are investing for the coming up with the vaccine is going to help the next ones to keep hurting everybody, right? Especially traveling where people were planning to travel. And my parents and my nephew was planning to come in 2 weeks. They had to cancel. Today they canceled the flight and everything, itinerary, because things are not seems well. So they have to give up on coming. So it hurts, but we have to really seek what is the opportunities hidden in this occurrence, right? Maybe they will come later in longer period, or maybe maybe I take my nephew to New York instead of additionally, instead of spending time in Florida. So there are things to really looking for. So that's kind of thing that it's important in any situation in life, because, for example, language learning, we're gonna get through this journey of learning another language, and then it takes time, but if we continue, it's 100% guaranteed deal. So we want to stay at it. But when we go practice, when we try to talk to native speaker, there is occurrence incident, and we cannot take it personally or take it negatively, so that we don't lose the drive, right? We can keep going. We can look for the opportunity at the time and the next time. But with that mentality, our action will significantly change, and the course of your journey is going to be completely different than if you don't have this mindset. So that's why it's important. One of the foundations in learning Spanish, the big one, is the verb conjugations. If you understand the basic verb conjugation, then you are golden, because you understand, you can pick it up when you hear something. But if you don't understand any, or if you know any of verb conjugation, the pattern and forms, you won't be able to identify the verb in what you hear. And that's super important to identify the verb. You understand in English, right? The verb and subject in English is the most important thing, that you want to catch it right away, so that you can understanding of what the bones and the essence of what the sentence is trying to tell you. And the same thing goes with the Spanish. Subject is less important, because verb conjugation itself will suggest who is the subject. That's the beauty of Spanish verb conjugation. It conjugates more patterns than in English. So in the first look, it looks overwhelmed, but it's not. Once you understand the pattern of conjugation, then you will catch up. You will be able to catch for any new verbs. So verb conjugation is the foundation of learning Spanish fast. So definitely you want to spend a little time every day to get into your nature, because once you understand, it becomes your nature. You don't need to even think about it later on. You don't even need to try to, learn it. So do 5 minutes every day for verb conjugation. I printed out all the verb conjugation charts and made the booklet, and I carried it anywhere, so that whenever I find in between time, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, I take that out of my bag, and then I just stare at it, right? And I just basically vocalize the verb conjugation. Vocalization is also important. Not just read in mind, but vocalize the words. It's super important. This is something that you don't want to miss, because it makes significant difference. And it's like, it would be stupid if you don't do it, because it makes difference. And then why don't you do it, right? So that kind of a significant difference that it will make. So vocalize when you are learning something, when you're practicing something. If some other people look at you, who cares? You are going to be a bilingual or trilingual, whatever, multilingual list that they are not. Don't care about what other people think and how they look at you, right? Because it's really the word we created, right? We create. We never know why people are looking at you, but we create our own, imagination and what they think about too. So never care about other people, and vocalize words when you practice, when you learn. That way, your learning curve, learning speed process is going to be minimal, literally. It's going to be fast. And we want to learn it and attain as fast as possible so we can enjoy using that language. Because that's what it's all about. To enjoy communicating with the people who speak that language.